Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, your brother, and your friend, Rashid, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining me on the most powerful platform for truth, bar none, on God's green earth. This is your platform for education, elevation, and edification. This is the Red Pill Diaries, and I want to say this before we go further. This is my favorite time of the year. The blessed day it is, and I want to say thank you for giving me your time, because you did not have to spend your time with me. You could have spent your time watching sports, doing foolishness, or all that other stuff, or even just doing something else. But you chose to give me a little bit of your time today, and for that, I'm humbled. Therefore, I'm going to try to do my best to explain issues to you. Sometimes it might hurt you a little bit, but it's for your best. You know, sometimes when your parents scold you or discipline you, or your brother, your big brother or your big sister discipline you or scold you, sometimes it hurts your feelings. But as you grow older, you realize that it was for your benefit and your security. Sometimes we have to do that here. All right. So I want to shout out to Joel Bradford in the building. Shout out to Perseverance Chameleon in the building. Shout out to everybody who's joining us and who will join us. And let's jump right into the topics, because it's been a good while coming. I had a lot of things going on in the background. I have some tremendous shows coming up for you guys with some tremendous guests. I've been working full steam behind closed doors, and also been handling some family issues. And finally, my wife is back home. She was out on her job or whatever, and she's back. So now she can help me at the house a little bit. So everybody, again, thank you so much. Give a shout out to the greatest woman to ever live, my mother, for watching. I love your mom more than life. Thank you so much for teaching me, raising me, disciplining me. You know, every now and then you had to give me a 2-piece to the kidneys when I got out of line. I appreciate that. So everybody, listen. Shout out to Shelly is in the building. Now we got to address some things, okay? Because I had a hard time getting on. The internet started messing up about 15 or 20 minutes before the show started. I had to get my son in here. All of the computers were going crazy or whatever, and my son, the tech he is, got us on the air. So check this out. There's a lot going on, and we're going to address the Ukrainian situation. We're going to address the pivot to Asia. But I want to go back to something with Mr. Trump. And just like I stayed on Biden's neck, just like I stayed on Obama's neck, I'm not going to let anybody just gallop through here without calling the ace and a spade, okay? So recently, with the cancellation of DEI, what is it? Diversity, equality, and inclusion, I believe that was. Trump says that there will be it no more. Then you had because they're indoctrinated with U.S. propaganda. If it's an affront to U.S. sovereignty, you telling me it's not an affront to Lagos or the Gambia sovereignty? It's not an affront to Bolivia's sovereignty. It's not an affront to German sovereignty, even though Germany has a lot of bases in Africa that they don't tell you about. It's not an affront to those Pacific Islands sovereignty. It's only an affront to a Western nation. Man, stop this. Stop playing with me with this foolishness. All right? Incognito says, let me scroll down to put this on the screen. Hold on, Incognito, because one monitor is showing me something else, and it's jumping on this monitor. Hold on 1 second. Ghost 777, shout out to you. Let's see. Yeah, good to see you again, Incognito. I'm working behind the scenes trying to get some dates scheduled. And besides that, I had a lot going on. You know, my daughter was in the hospital. 2 of my daughters had to go to the hospital at different times, and I had to be there because my wife wasn't here at the time. Okay, so I had to handle that. Let's see. Salute the Maddie in the building. Incognito says this right here. Because our bases are happy bases, like little Disneylands. Shout out to Vera in the building. All right. Oh man. I'm gonna leave that one up for a second. I like that one. So look, there is something I wanted to. Let me get back to something real quick. There's something I wanted to show you guys. All right. I got it. So I have heard a lot of the alternative media tuck tail on Ukraine. And now everything is Zelensky's fault. I told you guys that was coming, didn't it? I told you guys a long time. That's coming. When America starts pointing to Zelensky, the alternative media is going to start pointing to Zelensky. He's irrational. He's irrational. He's brash. He's arrogant. He's such and such. But he's America's puppet. He's such and such. But he's America's puppet. He's Britain's puppet. He's NATO's puppet. Why are we leaving that out? Who allowed him to come to power? Who sustained them in power? Who formulated the policies that Ukraine enacted? Who gave him the weapons? Who gave him the money? His security are British special forces. Let me say that again. His security were British special forces. You know, like the president has the Secret Service. Zelensky was being protected by British special forces. And you telling me the Brits and the U.S. has no leverage over him? And he can just freely formulate policy outside of their dictates? Oh, boy, I tell you what. Whatever you puffing on, whatever you drinking, you need to bottle it, get it approved.
Because we know too much now. And, you know, once you've seen all this, there's no unseeing it.
Mm-hmm. So before I go further, let me give a shout out to Luca Tony, my guy Vera, my girl Vera, I'm sorry, M Sparks, Shelly is in the building, Holly is in the building, Phobos Moon, Cosmo Ray, and Cosmo, you got it right, the Khazarian Mafia. I see what you put up there, yeah. So check it. So you hear what he said, the empire is collapsing. And when, just like with all empires, when things are collapsing, everybody's to blame but the people who are running the empire straight into the ground, right? And when you hear the media start repeating and regurgitating what the government is saying, that is because they are the scribes of today. You remember in biblical and Quranic time,
very bad consequences down the road. I really don't think that Trump is reorganizing America and putting it under new administration. I was just listening to him talk about how there needs to be maximum pressure on Iran, that they're not allowed to have nuclear weapons. If they assassinate senior leaders in the American government, the same way the U.S. has already assassinated senior leaders in the Iranian government, they will obliterate all of Iran. That sounds very much like the deep state that he campaigned against on the campaign trail.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. So listen, and we're going to bring it to a close, but I want to finish this little reading of what Hagsif says, and then I want to play the last clip of the night, okay? So you guys bear with me. Thank you for being with me almost 2.5 hours. I wanted to give you a show because I had not been able to give you a show in a few days, but I think we got one tomorrow, and then I don't know, sometime this week we got a premium show also, or a premium video coming up. So I'm trying to give it to you in one person, but I'm doing my best, okay? So you guys bear with me, all right? So it says, the United States faces consequential threats to our homeland, he said, stressing we must and we are focusing on our security of our own borders. China is the foremost challenge, he explained, describing it as a peer competitor with both the capability and intent to threaten U.S. national interests in the Indo-Pacific region. Now, this is the question I ask for anybody. Just anyone that's looking around. How can America's interest in the Asia Pacific be more of a priority than China's interest in the Asia Pacific when China
imperial elite is so out of touch with reality and so stuck on its ideological crusade that it would rather see the end of the world than the end of their power, because the end of their power for them is the end of their world. It's not the end of the world, but it's the end of their world as they see it. And they would rather end the world than let that happen.
And you see how things work out. I didn't even know all of that was in the video, but that was the last video of the night. You see how God works. God is always good. I want to take the time out to thank each and every one of you for joining me again on the most powerful platform for truth anywhere on God's green earth. This has been a true news rundown with your friend, your brother, and your ally, Rashid. I want to thank you all. And remember to do right by others, not because there's some material gain in it or because there's some accolades or some kind of recognition in it. Do right by others because it's the right and humane thing to do. Because even when no one else is watching, remember that God Almighty is always watching. He sits high, but he looks low. Remember that. Know that I love each and every one of you if you love truth, but know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that God has for you. And until we next speak again, stay strong, stay true, but above all things, remember to stay righteous. Hey, mama, your baby boy loves you more than life. Deuces, everybody. Thank you. We out of here. Peace.
Walk away. That was my first and last mistake. I'm blue without your face. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a